Flavian Aponso is the new batsman for Holland. He's out there to replace Nolan Clark, who once again at this tournament has failed at the top of the order. Aponso has a bit more form to recommend him, though. 58 against Pakistan right here on this ground 3 or 4 days ago. End of the over, 3 for 1.
So good start there for Althoff, playing in his first game. Picks up his first wicket in the competition, that of Nolan Clark. Looking to come forward, foot not quite to the pitch of the ball there, and really just didn't quite have the control that he would have liked, and Mira takes that catch. So Althoff, he's pretty happy, but Nolan Clark, he'll be very disappointed with that. Just a medium-pace bowler, Althoff, really. Not a lot of follow-through, but the point is, with the new ball, he's got the breakthrough. And so UAE will say that the first honours have come to them in the first few overs.
Oh, that's edged, and it's going down to the fence for 4 runs. It was a false shot induced on the batsman, but he managed to slip it through the slip cordon, and 4 runs.
Well, I'm not so sure that actually carried, but again, it was well bowled, just attacking the left-hander, just outside the off stump there, across and away to him. And so Sultan Zarawani there, the captain at first slip. I think it just bounced in front of him.
Well, that's a bit close, padding, and that came back. Not a wise decision to make, but the umpire ruled in favour of the batsman.
Yes, well, if the batsman plays no shot to a ball outside the off stump, it's going to come in, and the ball's going to go on and hit the stumps. It can be adjudged out LBW.
Well, that's a cracking shot. The game has just required that. We're in the 12th over.
I'm sure Asanka Gurusingh will be very happy with this shot. Full of confidence. Safar, his first look in the tournament at him, and straight away he's launched into him. A little bit of width outside off stump. Out goes the front foot. He hits through the ball with confidence. And that's the difference between that shot played by Aponso, the one played by Nolan Clark. Didn't give it the full flourish and sort of half played it, got caught at cover. Aponso carried on and picked up the boundary.
And more confident runs. Flicks to a wicket, that's 4 runs all the way. So Aponso quite enjoying this change of bowling. Syed Al Safa is one of the Arab nationals in the side. Of course, there's a strong policy in UAE to include young Arabs in the side, so this is a good but steep learning curve for him. It's one of only 2 nationals in the Emirates squad. There's the other one, Sultan Zarawani, the captain.
Well, a moral victory here for the bowler. Didn't come to anything in the end, but Cantrell, looking to hit down the ground, was beaten in terms of the flight. Threw the shot before the ball really arrived. A half chance back to the bowler. Didn't quite stretch across in time, but you'll see there, he lifts it. Cantrell, the bottom hand comes into play, and almost.
Change the commentary box with Richard Hadley. Here's Grant Nesbitt.
Thank you, Tony. Fielding restrictions off now, 15 overs completed. And that's in the air, and it's just over the top. Not a particularly convincing shot from Aponso, but it staggered over the man at mid-off and went down to the fence for 4.
Well, quite clearly, Flavian Aponso is the man that's in control out there and is trying to get runs quickly. Also for the reason that Cantrell is just struggling out there. So if the ball's going to be in the slot and with a full pitch delivery, that one, he's going to give it a bit of a whack. And that's the right approach. And it just did clear that man at mid-off.
That's a big hit. And over the line it goes. 4 runs. Beautifully played. Got it up very high. I thought for a moment it might finish up a bit like a pitching wedge and stop. But it's over the boundary for 4.
So a bit of the full flourish coming here from Aponso, and very much the right approach. Just had to reach for it a little bit and got under it. I think had he hit it a little bit cleaner, it just might have gone all the way for 6, but it probably bounced about 15 metres inside the boundary rope. It's still a very positive shot, so he's gaining some confidence now, and that innings of his is really developing. He moves to 32 and having a good go at this bowler.
Calling for the short single, and that's well run. So this has been a fruitful over for Holland. They only managed to get 38 in the first 15 overs. They'd have been a little disappointed with that. And oddly enough, they've got much more aggression now that the fielding restrictions have come off.
Yeah, to be fair, though, the ball did move around this morning, and they had to treat it with some respect. Clearly, the UAE pace attack is, well, it's medium pace, but outside the odd wide that was bowled, they still did get some movement off the seam a little bit in the air, and they lost that early wicket too, did the Holland side. And so they had to rebuild that early damage, and now just picking up the momentum. So Peter Cantrell just appears to be in a bit of a rut out there at the moment, whether he's under instructions to just occupy the crease and just sort of really get in and then start taking control a little bit later. Well, maybe that is the plan, but you do tend to think that after some out of overs, you should have more runs on the board. Well, that's a very positive shot from Cantrell. Again, had to reach for it, and he's hit it straight back past the bowler for 4. So that's the first real sign of aggression there from Cantrell.
It also brings up the 50, and at the end of 16 overs, Holland are 52 for 1. This is one of the better performed bowlers in the Emirates team.
Yes, he bowled quite nicely against New Zealand, Dukanwala. Picked up 1 for 46 off his 10 overs there. It was a good performance. Particularly when New Zealand scored 278. So you could see just over 4 runs and over was quite impressive. Dukanwala, born in Bombay, so he's an Indian.
He didn't mean that to go down to fine leg, but it has. Peter Cantrell, and he's got a couple of runs. Not totally in control of it. He's trying to play this down to mid-on, you can see there, and the spin takes effect. And he's lucky to get a couple down to fine leg. Oh, a lot of turn there, beats the keeper. More work here for Altaf, and sticks the big hoof on it. And back they come, and let's see what the umpire says. That's 3 byes. Well, fair bit of turn.
Well, the keeper misread it, and I think I've misread the pitch as well, because I didn't think it was going to turn that much, and quite clearly it's turned very sharply for Dukanwala. It's beaten the batsman, it's beaten the keeper. And they've almost beat Altaf down there on the boundary as well. He clogs that one.
Actually, yes, you've had a good morning, Richard. You predicted the team winning the toss at bat first.
I've had an absolute shocker.
Sultan Zarawani in his first over. Well, that's a big loopy full toss. Oh, goodness. Well, almost the undoing of Peter Cantrell. And often the way in cricket, isn't it? You get a shocking delivery.
Well, I think it typifies that Peter Cantrell is just so much out of form out there at the moment that he's not even dispatching the bad delivery, which was the full toss. And the ball just following Altaf around quite a bit there. Bit slow to move, just put his hand out, and the ball didn't stick. It is a single for Cantrell. So not a great delivery, not a great shot.
Well, the ball races away down fine, and that'll be 4 runs. It was a stifled appeal, but in fact it came off the bat, and we've seen a number of sweep shots in this World Cup competition. And that's yet another one which brings profit.
Couldn't agree with you more, Tony. In fact, that was exactly what I was about to say. I saw more sweep shots yesterday in South Africa versus Pakistan than I've ever seen in my life before. Well, here's another effective one. Gets it very fine, just wide of the wicketkeeper and inside the man, inside the circle.
He's caught him. Well bowled, well caught. It's a nicely flighted delivery outside off stump. We talked about the pressure going back onto Aponso because his partner's scoring slowly. And he was through with that too early. We've seen quite a bit of stroke play which has got through the ball a little too early. Take a look at this, Ian.
Yes, he's done a lot of this, hasn't he, throughout the innings. He struck the ball pretty well, Aponso. On this occasion, he only half hits it, doesn't it? That's the problem. He only gets halfway through the shot. Ball meets bat far too late for his liking. The bottom hand comes very much into play. Lifts it back to the bowler. Well taken to his right by Dukanwala. So Aponso's gone for 45 at 77 for 2.